Have you ever entered into a fast expecting breakthrough, but instead felt nothing? No vision from heaven, no angelic encounter, no fire from above, just silence. And in that silence, your stomach begins to twist. Your thoughts wander restlessly. And your heart quietly asks the question you didn't want to admit. God, are you even listening? Still, you press on. You skip another meal. You open the scriptures and read another verse. You sit quietly in the prayer room, waiting in faith. But the heavens feel hard, like brass. Every word you pray seems to fall lifeless to the floor. Your thoughts blur. Your soul grows restless. And deep inside, you whisper, why does this feel more like punishment than prayer? But what if the silence isn't empty? What if something powerful is happening right now, unseen in the spirit realm? What if your fasting is shaking invisible places that your eyes cannot yet see? And what if fasting has never been about how you feel, but about what it activates? Let me tell you a story. There was a young woman named Deborah. She loved God. She prayed often. She served faithfully. But this time was different. Her home was under attack. Her marriage was fragile. Her peace was slipping away like smoke in the wind. She didn't need another sermon. She didn't need another motivational podcast. What she needed was breakthrough. So Deborah decided to fast, not just to ask God for things, but to find Him in the silence. She emptied herself. She bowed low. She laid down comfort and distraction, saying with her life, God, I want you more than I want food, more than I want relief. Day 1, silence. Day 2, fatigue. Day 3, confusion. By day 5, she was crying in secret, too ashamed to tell anyone. She turned down every invitation to eat. She stayed alone in her room. The air felt heavy. Her thoughts screamed. Her flesh rebelled. And finally, she asked the question every true faster eventually asks. God, am I doing this wrong? Because no one talks about the middle, the stretch, the ache, the resistance, that place where fasting feels like emptiness. And in that place, the enemy whispered, this isn't spiritual. It's just a diet. You're wasting your time. Go eat. But what Deborah didn't know was that in the unseen realm, her sacrifice was noticed. Her whispers were echoing into eternity. Her hunger was speaking louder than her words ever could. When you fast, you step into a kind of prayer that doesn't always require sound. You cry out in silence. You tell heaven with your weakness, I'm here, I'm yours, I am available. Fasting is not just hunger. It is not suffering for the sake of suffering. It is not religious performance. Fasting is war, and every war has a battlefield. But this battlefield is not flesh and blood. It isn't measured by feelings or goosebumps. It is invisible. It is eternal. And fasting aligns your soul with the authority of heaven. Even Jesus fasted. For 40 days, he ate nothing. He wasn't trying to impress the Father. He wasn't looking for attention. He was preparing. He was aligning himself. He was stepping into divine authority. After his baptism, filled with the Spirit, he wasn't led to the temple. He wasn't led to the crowd. The Spirit led him to the wilderness. Why? Because power without surrender is dangerous. Before Jesus could confront the enemy in public, he had to confront hunger in private. The wilderness wasn't punishment. It was preparation. It was proving ground. And fasting works the same way in us. It takes you into the wilderness of your soul. It shows you what you've been relying on. It exposes what you've been hiding. It surfaces the noise, the cravings, the self. And if you stay long enough, it silences them. Fasting shows you how loud your flesh really is. But more importantly, it shows you how quiet the voice of God has become beneath the clutter. Fasting turns down the world's volume and turns up the Spirit's voice. It's not a hunger strike. It's not a transaction with God. It's not, if I suffer, then God must move. Fasting is hunger, but holy hunger. The kind that says, even if you don't fix this situation, I still want you more than I want food. I still choose you. When Daniel fasted for 21 days, nothing seemed to change. His enemies still held power. His city was still in ruins. For 3 weeks, heaven seemed silent. But then an angel came. And the angel said, "From the first day you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before God, your words were heard. And I have come because of them." From the first day, not the 21st, not after he earned breakthrough. From the very first moment his heart turned in humility, heaven had heard him. What if your answer is already released, and your fast is the pipeline carrying it to you? What if there is a battle in the unseen realm delaying what God has already sent, and your persistence is the weapon clearing the way? Fasting doesn't twist God's arm. It aligns you with His movement. It slows your soul down to the pace of heaven. It makes room for the eternal. Because fasting is not about food. It's about surrender. You are not earning God's voice. You are creating space to hear it. You are not punishing yourself. You are posturing your spirit. Fasting changes more within you than around you. It breaks chains. It purifies motives. It dethrones idols. It sharpens discernment. It humbles pride. It increases authority. And with every day you continue, it tells heaven, "I am serious." Esther fasted, and a king changed his decree. Elijah fasted, and fire fell from heaven. Moses fasted, and God gave commandments that still govern nations. Jesus fasted, and angels ministered to him. None of these fasts were convenient. None came with easy answers. But all of them altered history. And every one of them began with silence. Because silence does not mean absence. Silence means stillness, a holy hush, a sacred quiet, a veil being lifted. It means God is preparing to speak, not in a whirlwind, but in a whisper. And when you fast, your body may feel weak, but your spirit becomes alert. Your habits are exposed. Your identity is reshaped. Your eyes begin to open. For Deborah, her breakthrough came like a sunrise. On the 10th day, she sat in her room, still and quiet. Her prayers were not loud. Her journal was empty. But something had shifted. Not in her family. Not in her finances. Not in her circumstances. The shift was in her spirit. Peace, stillness, clarity. She felt Him. Not thunder. Not angels. But she knew He was near. She realized the fast wasn't about convincing God to show up. It was about removing the noise so she could see He had been there all along. And that clarity changed her. She found strength again, not from bread, but from heaven. She stood up, not because her problem was solved, but because her soul was settled. She knew who held her. She knew who led her. She knew who had seen her sacrifice in secret. And that changed everything. So what happens in the spirit when you fast? You may not feel it, but chains break. Prayers rise like incense. Angels are sent. Strongholds weaken. Your soul is cleansed. Your authority grows. Heaven moves. Hell trembles. And your spirit awakens. You may face temptation. You may feel confusion. You may battle fatigue or silence. But don't stop, because your fast is not wasted. It is a weapon. You are not starving yourself. You are feeding your faith. You are stepping into ancient power, joining the saints of old, walking in the footsteps of Jesus Himself. The enemy wants you to quit, but heaven urges you to keep going. Because every day you fast, something is happening in you, through you, and beyond you. Even if it takes time to see it. Even if no one claps. Even if your flesh complains. God sees it. He honors it. And He responds to it. And when it's all over, you will never be the same. So the next time you fast and feel nothing, remember this. Heaven hears you, hell fears you, and your Father sees you. Is not this the fast that I have chosen, says the Lord? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke. Yes, fasting is hard. Yes, it tests your resolve. Yes, it exposes your heart, but it also opens heaven. So don't give up. Fast not just for breakthrough, but for God Himself. Seek Him, trust Him, wait on Him, and you will discover what no food, no comfort, no noise can ever give: His presence, His power, His whisper, and His peace. Because when you fast, something always happens, even if you can't see it yet. Thank you for watching.